Spain is facing one of its most serious border crises in the recent years after thousands of migrants crossed into the North African enclave of Ceuta from neighboring Morocco, prompting the Spanish government to deploy its military to restore order. The mass influx has already claimed at least 9 lives, with migrants drowning while attempting the dangerous sea crossing, and has overwhelmed local authorities, forcing to step up security and emergency response measures. The crisis unfolded when thousands of migrants made their way into Ceuta by swimming around breakwaters, using inflatable devices and attempting to cross the heavily fortified border separating Morocco from the Spanish territory. Videos circulating on social media showed large groups of migrants, including young men, women and children, celebrating as they entered Ceuta. The sudden surge quickly overwhelmed border security, with officials describing the situation as one of unprecedented chaos. In response, Spain's government announced that the armed forces would be deployed to assist the civil guard in maintaining law and order in Ceuta. Prime Minister Pedro, accompanied by Interior Minister Fernando Grant, travelled to the territory to personally review the situation and oversee the government's response. And according to the Spanish authorities, at least 9 migrants lost their lives while attempting to reach Ceuta by sea. Officials did not immediately provide details about the circumstances of the deaths, but eyewitnesses reported seeing bodies floating in the water near the coastline. Hundreds more successfully reached the enclave, while many others remained gathered on the Moroccan side of the border, waiting for an opportunity to cross. Rachid Bihi, head of the association representing Spain's civil guard officers in Ceuta, described the situation as absolute chaos, saying that the border had totally collapsed, and although authorities have not released an official figure, media reports estimate that between 2,000 and 3,000 migrants entered Ceuta within just a few hours, and Ceuta's regional government had already been struggling to cope with rising migrant arrivals in the recent weeks, with reception centers reportedly overcrowded even before the latest surge. Well, the Spanish Interior Ministry said that Morocco was cooperating closely with Spain in order to prevent further crossings and stop people attempting to enter the enclave illegally. Both the nations have agreed to work together in order to facilitate the return of migrants who crossed into Ceuta, although no timeline has been announced for the repatriation process. Moroccan authorities have not officially commented on the incident, but Morocco's embassy blamed criminal networks involved in migrant smuggling and human trafficking for encouraging the mass crossings. Authorities are still trying to determine what triggered the sudden influx, and some local officials believe that a recent ruling by Spain's Supreme Court, which prevents the immediate return of migrants arriving by sea without due legal process, may have encouraged more people to attempt the journey. However, migrant rights groups have questioned this explanation, arguing that most migrants would likely have been unaware of the court's decision. Ceuta's regional president, Juan Jesus Vivas, called on the Spanish government to declare a national emergency, warning that the territory lacked the resources to deal with such a massive influx. He requested additional police personnel and military deployment to secure the border and restore public order. However, Spain's Interior Ministry clarified that migration alone does not meet the legal criteria for declaring a national emergency, although it assured that all the necessary government agencies were coordinating in order to manage the crisis. The developments have also sparked political debate within Europe, as Italian leaders criticize Spain's handling of migration, with calls for stronger border controls and renewed discussions over the agreement. Spanish officials rejected the criticism, insisting that the government was taking all the necessary steps in order to secure the border while coordinating closely with Moroccan and international authorities. And the latest crisis has drawn comparison with the major Ceuta border emergency in May 2021, when more than 8,000 migrants entered the Spanish enclave within just 2 days during a diplomatic dispute between Spain and Morocco. Well, that episode strained relations between the two nations and highlighted the strategic importance of Ceuta, one of only 2 European Union territories sharing a land border with Africa. And located on Morocco's northern coast, Ceuta has long been a key entry point for migrants hoping to reach Europe in search of better economic opportunities or to escape poverty, conflict and instability in their home nations. Many attempt the dangerous journeys by swimming several kilometers across open waters from the Morocco towns, and often risking their lives to reach Spanish territory. And as security forces continue monitoring the border and rescue teams patrol the coastline, Spain remains focused on restoring order while preventing further loss of life. And the tragedy has once again highlighted the growing challenges of irregular migration in Europe and the need for stronger international cooperation in order to address both the border security and the humanitarian issues driving thousands of desperate people to undertake such dangerous journeys. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the Savera for more updates. Do like, comment and subscribe to the channel.